I'm looking at referencing to start thinking about critical writing. So in the previous session 2, in week 2, we looked at some critical reading techniques and looked at what different things you need to consider when you're reading something critically. If you're not confident with this or you can't remember this, you might want to look back at the week 2 section of Moodle, Introduction to Critical Writing, before you move on. So the main outcomes for this session are to be able to apply critical reading, which you should hopefully have some background knowledge on now, interpret and analyse information. What do we mean exactly by analysing information? And then, most importantly, critically evaluate a piece of writing and recognise things that make a good assignment, and also what is poor practice, what we're not expecting to see. So the first thing you should be doing for this task is to read a previous essay for me. So I've got 2 essays that are written in response to the same question, which we'll be looking at or discussing these, in class. So before you come to class, what you should do at this point is pause the video, have a read through both of these essays, and then have a look and make some points about both of them, thinking about positives and negatives. Think about critically, how can you critically evaluate these. So just before you do this, just some points to consider. Think of these overall points when you're reading the essay, and also have a look at something called the Information Source Evaluation Matrix, which looks like this. This can be found in the study skills area of Moodle, or there's a link to this on the left hand side to this video. This is mainly used for assessing sources, but we can also use it when looking at some work as well. You can think about these 2 points here. What is the relevance of the points made, and where is the context for the points made? So think about what is the essay title that's been set, and what are the 2 authors saying, and you can score these from 1 to 5, where 5 is really good and 1 is maybe not so good. So at this point, pause the video, have a read through and make some notes on those 2 essays. Okay, so you should now have had a good read of both of those 2 essays and have made some notes on them and some critical points when you've read them. We're going to come back to those and we're going to discuss those in class. All of this is starting to think about the literature review, which is the first assignment you've got for me due in January. And just a reminder of learning outcome 4 here, that you've got to demonstrate knowledge of research processes required to underpin essential skills necessary to undertake a literature review of literature. So we're going to come on to this next week, looking exactly what literature reviews are all about. But for now, just start thinking about analysing the question, picking out keywords in tasks that you're asked to do, thinking about if there's any restrictions, such as dates that you've got to look at or answer something between. So applying that kind of concept to the literature review, basically what you'll be doing is looking at a topic that's related to early years health or the communities in some way, so a topic that is relevant to the course, and you'll be writing a critical account, which we'll look at in some more detail in class, about what's been published in your chosen area. So you'll be looking at a few different articles, maybe a few different journals and things, and then bringing it all together or synthesising it and kind of summarising the main arguments with some analysis, so looking at them with a sort of critical eye. So what we're going to be doing in class is we're going to be looking at some examples of previous literature reviews and critically reviewing these once we've had some discussion about the previous essays that you've reviewed, and then we're going to be marking those in the same way that I'll be marking them against the marking criteria that you've got. So just make sure you've watched this video before you come to class and that you are confident with critical reading techniques, and you have had a good look at the Information Source Evaluation Matrix. We'll also be using that matrix to start evaluating some journal articles in the next part of the course.